You're watching WCTV, Chesapeake, Virginia.
This is Thinking Out Loud with Mark Cox.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Thinking Out Loud. We're back for another year of great stories, great people. And, you know, this is the time of year, I don't know about you, but this is the time of year I'm starting to get my credit card bills from Christmas. I'm looking at these things and I'm saying, I didn't spend that much, but, you know, I guess I did. But, you know, it's, if you don't use credit cards, if you try to use cash, people look at you like you're weird, you know, or like you don't have good credit. But, you know, a friend of mine actually lost, his credit card was stolen. And I said, that's terrible. And I said, well, did you report the credit card being stolen? He said, no, the thief's actually spending less than my wife did, so he's just going to go with it. And in case you haven't noticed already, Ray is back. I got to give Ray a hug. We're so happy. Our regular producer, actually, not our regular producer, our extraordinary producer.
Oh, thank you. And thank you, Blair, for having my back.
Yes, and Blair's standing right over there. She hasn't gone far. But you don't look like you had a baby. You look awesome.
I did. And I have some camouflaging clothes.
Well, I tell you, look, we are extremely happy that you're back.
Well, thank you.
And we have work for you to do.
Yes, you do.
Yes, we do. Okay. Hey, let me talk about Fun Forest, because next week, Fun Forest, it's the big rebuild time for Fun Forest. Now, some work's already been done, but next, like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday maybe, of next week, we need all the volunteers we can get out at City Park for the Fun Forest rebuild. And if you have skills, carpentry, whatever, that'd be great. But if you don't, they still need you. We need a lot of people. Go to citychesapeake.net or call 382-CITY if you can volunteer, because this is going to be really cool. Big community event. I want to pause here for just a second and have a serious note, and that is a very good friend of Thinking Out Loud and really all of Chesapeake. Jean Marie Eagler passed away not too long ago, and she's been almost a regular on our show. You know, you may remember her coming on as Mother Nature. Just a great friend of the environment. In fact, the Chesapeake Environmental Improvement Council gave her the Pioneer Award in December, and it's just what a loss that we all have. Yes. You know, yes. We're really going to miss Jean Marie. Now, shifting gears a little bit to more what's happening right now. This weekend, the Hospital Gala. Now, this is a big thing, formal. Ray went last year.
Oh, I loved it, too. I'm so mad that Blair's taking my spot.
Yeah, Blair's going to be there and bring back a report. I'm more of a blue jeans type of person, but this is formal, and it is really fun and cool.
And it has a good theme.
Good theme. It's spies
and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can come in a costume, but call the hospital. There might be a few tickets left. It's really a lot of fun. Now, of course, this was the hottest summer on record. Have you seen, Ray? There's still piles of snow around. I was over at the mall, and there's still piles of snow. It's weird. Hottest summer. Is it going to be the hottest winter? I don't know.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
They were turning you. They wanted you to go to that camera. You did a really good job, too.
I followed directions very, very well. I want to give a special thanks to Jim and Blair also for the 2 music highlight shows that we did, and they did a great job.
Jim wants to be seen. Please get Jim.
Here's Jim. Great job in front or in behind the camera. You know, Jim is. It was a great show. Hope you saw it. Well, maybe we can replay those again sometime if I need a week off or something like that. All right, we do have some fantastic guests today. You know, talking about music and the highlights on the show. Well, we're starting a whole new highlight reel today because Gridlock 64 is here. We'll be performing right here on our stage very shortly. And coming up a little later after that, or actually before that, I think, Buddy Bagley and Dave Zobel are here to talk about the Boys and Girls Club. And I got a real eye-opener when I attended one of their events. It's amazing what they do. But our first guest is also a regular contributor here on Thinking Out Loud. And last time he was on, we said, look, come back when the General Assembly is getting going, and the General Assembly is definitely going. There's so much happening in politics and the economy and all that, so we always turn to our respected expert, Michael Katchmark. Let's bring Michael out. Michael, very good to see you again.
Glad to be here again.
Yeah, I didn't overstate it, right? That like that music. Yeah, we're beefing up our theme songs here with the new year.
Yeah, it keeps it active and alive.
Well, what's happening in Richmond?
Well, Gridlock 64 is an excellent introduction to what's happening in Richmond. There finally is a very different proposal on the table than has been put forward before. Governor McDonnell proposed just before the session started that for the first time the state is considering dedicating a portion of the sales tax revenue directly to transportation for both Northern Virginia and Hampton Roads.
And this is really revolutionary almost.
Very much. The thinking in Richmond for decades has sort of been that you had a general fund, and that came out of the income taxes that Virginia individuals and businesses paid, and the sales taxes that all went into the general fund, and that predominantly went to other priorities. Transportation was funded through gas taxes and certain other dedicated revenue streams. What's being put on the table is the idea that prioritization should be given to transportation, and that general fund revenue, not a huge amount, we're only talking about roughly 0.25% out of the 5% sales tax that already is out there, but that this money flows around directly to the localities. What we'd be looking at in Hampton Roads is approximately $40 million a year that comes out of this, which would allow us to build somewhere in the neighborhood of $400 to $500 million worth of projects. And to put that in scope, you know, that's not enough to cover everything that's out there in the needs, but it's a sizable chunk. I mean, it would, if we were fortunate enough to have it devoted to the steel bridge, would be one of the things to get us over the hurdle. But even dividing it up between the steel bridge, the Midtown Tunnel, and some of the other projects, it goes a long way to beginning to fund what these needs are. Now, right now, some of the state Senate Democrats have indicated that they are in opposition to it, so it's going to take about a month for us to know whether or not this proposed plan is going to pass.
In this time of year, every year at this time, there are just ideas bubbling up all over Richmond, and sometimes they don't make it very far. But this seems like to have a lot of momentum to do something with transportation.
This definitely has more legs than a lot of the other proposals out there. The tough part, and this is where really the divide comes between the Democrats and the Republicans, is that the Republicans do not want to have a tax increase. The Democrats would prefer to have additional revenue to fund transportation, as well as keeping the general fund out there to fund the other obligations of the state. That discussion and negotiations will continue over the next 3 weeks, but at least it's beginning to have new ideas put on the table, which sometimes leads to different ideas, refinements, or some type of compromise, but it might actually break some money free for us.
Now, we were talking before the show about a Senate race that probably is going to attract a lot of attention, right? And you told me something I didn't know yet.
Yeah, the politics in the current age goes on forever. We just finished the 2010 elections, and in Virginia, the fight is already starting for 2012. Now, to put this in perspective, we're sitting in January of 2011. We still, on our state side, will have House of Delegates and state Senate races starting running in November 2011.
Right.
But people have kind of jumped the gun, and on the Republican side, they're beginning to line up for who's going to run against Jim Webb another roughly 20 months from now in November 2012. George Allen, former governor and former United States Senator, has pretty much made clear that he's going to be running for the Republican nomination. The Republicans decided back in December that they're going to have a primary as opposed to a convention.
Now, you know when that would happen?
That would probably happen sometime in the time frame of May or June of 2012.
Okay.
And the one part that makes this particularly interesting is obviously George Allen is a well-known name, very
former governor,
respected. But in the Tea Party side of the Republican Party, another candidate, Jamie Radke, who was based in Richmond and was a leader of the Richmond Tea Party, has announced that she intends to challenge George Allen. You may see additional challengers out there, but it is a little bit strange having to start in January 2011 and seeing this race go all the way through the nomination fight, potentially in May of 2012. But
it's
politics never ends.
Politics all the time. All right, how about closer to home? There's a lot going on here in Chesapeake.
A lot going on in Chesapeake. Probably the major issue, I think, that is beginning to get ready to be addressed by City Council is the improvements at City Park. That includes substantially what's been referred to as an activity center or an aquatic center that involves a swimming pool for competition purposes as well as a recreational pool. What makes this project a little bit unusual is that it's going to be funded, the construction side of it, by what's known as the Greenbrier TIF funding. And the Greenbrier TIF funding, a little bit complicated, but the basic point of it is that business property taxes, the increase over the last number of years, has been dedicated to the TIF in order to encourage additional business in Greenbrier. The proposal is to use the TIF funds, and this is different than the city's general funds, to use those for the economic development purpose of constructing a competition pool. Why that is so important from the economic development and the business side is that a competition level pool allows to bringing in swim meets from across the region, the state, and even outside of the state. One of the Greenbrier area's strong advantages is the number of hotel spaces that we have. Now, generally those hotel spaces have a good occupancy rate during the weekdays because they're primarily targeted to business travelers. You contrast that, say, with Virginia Beach, that's primarily a tourist market. This proposal would have swim meets that usually are held on weekends, involve parents coming down with their children, increasing hotel stay nights over the weekends, and those individuals also obviously would have to eat. They'd be eating in the restaurants in the Greenbrier area and potentially shopping in Greenbrier Mall and the surrounding shopping facilities. That creates both direct revenue for those businesses and additional tax revenue for the city. The city has a hotel tax and a restaurant meals tax, and by those individuals being drawn in that otherwise would not be here, the city's overall general revenue fund benefits through those hotel taxes and those meals taxes.
And I have heard that being able to provide these kind of facilities also to our own residents, not just people coming in, like the aquatic center, and it would be difficult to pay for those, especially in this economy. But this might give us an opportunity to do that.
That's why this project is very attractive for a good number of people.
And Michael, I'm Ray's over here. You know, Ray's back, and she's given us a wrap-up sign. But I'm sorry to interrupt, but did you want to finish your thought?
Just to indicate, there's no other way within the current city budget to build a pool. So this gives you the economic benefit as well as something for the citizens.
And they're working with all of the events, because a lot of events happen at City Park. Wine Festival, Jubilee, all those are, I think they're working to try to find an alternative, at least during the construction phase.
A lot of work and a lot of coordination.
A lot of work. Michael, sorry to cut you off short. You know I don't want to do that because we're just getting warmed up. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Mark.
It won't be long. We'll be calling you back.
Sounds good.
Let's see what happens at General Assembly. Thanks very much. Okay, we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Whatever we deny or embrace, for worse or for better.
Underneath everything we are all people. And when we reach out a hand to one, we can influence the condition of all. That's what it means to live united.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back.
Welcome back to Thinking Out Loud. You know, it is harder than ever to be a kid these days. You know, the society's more complicated, more parents are working, longer hours. We need to take care of our kids, and it's a group of individuals here in Chesapeake and in Hampton Roads that are devoting the time and effort to do just that. So I want to introduce from the Boys and Girls Club, Dave Zobel, and former council member and a lot of other things, former fire chief, Buddy Bagley. So let's ask him, Buddy and Dave, to come out.
They told me to do it.
You got to do it. All right.
Here comes Buddy. All right, here we go.
Man, you know, you're better than last time. You've been practicing. You know, you guys didn't start out with the Boys and Girls Club. How did you get involved with it?
I started back in 1992. I had kind of aged out of the Virginia Beach JCs, was invited to come onto the board, and so I started with the board of directors 18 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. And, Buddy, I know you've been involved with them a long time.
Yeah, well,
too.
I guess probably when they started in Chesapeake.
When was that?
3 years now?
Probably about 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
So we're just kind of
Opened
getting
up 2 clubs in Chesapeake.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we don't have a long history yet, but a lot of involvement already, right?
Yeah.
We do. Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
Let me, I always like to start with real basic stuff. And how is the Boys and Girls Club different from other organizations? And, what is it trying to accomplish?
The demographics in America and in Virginia and in this city right now are changing. We're starting to move more and more towards single-parent families. So if you have a working parent at home, they're not going to be there for the kids when they get out of school. Boys and Girls Clubs take care of boys and girls in the after-school hours until their parent comes to pick them up. And so that's usually between 3 and 7 p.m. We take care of them in a structured program. It's not just daycare. It's kids 6 to 18. They come by. We have a structured program for them, and they form bonds with adult mentors. That's what's unique.
Okay. And now, how about eligibility? Can all kids participate, or are there certain groups that we're really targeting?
In Chesapeake, we target age-appropriate kids for the schools that we're in. So we're in 2 schools. We're in what we call school-based sites.
Okay.
And so they're primarily elementary school-age kids. But at Truett Intermediate, we also take middle school-age kids who can go there as well.
Okay.
At Thurgood Marshall, it's elementary school-age kids. So that would be kids from grade 1 through 5.
Now, Buddy invited me to an event not too long ago. It's
Steak and Burgers.
Steak and Burgers.
Yeah.
And it was just, I learned a lot that night about the Boys and Girls Club. It's where we sat down, and the kids got steaks, and the adults got the burgers, and I guess you could kind of bargain there. But that was a fundraiser that night, or what?
Yeah, that's a fundraiser we put on, and we do that every year now to raise funds. But what impresses you when you go there, as you saw, they were just the gentlemen, and they were not gentlemen. They were just as neat, and they wasn't rowdy or anything.
Oh.
And they were very well disciplined. The boys and girls both.
They really were. I
And,
really enjoyed. And I was so impressed. These little kids, but they were so polite and interesting to talk to. Really
Well, we
good
put
kids.
4 adults and 4 children at each table, so they could interact with each other. And it's been. No, people have come up and said, "Hey, I remember you at a steak and burger deal there," and they might even end up getting a job with some of those people.
Yeah.
And it's not a daycare center. The first hour that they come in there after school, they got to do their homework.
Yeah.
And they go on field trips and all kinds of things that will bring them up and keep them interested.
You brought some visual aids here.
I'm a trial attorney by profession, so they always say the person with the most exhibits win at trial, so that they just don't hear the lawyers talking.
Okay.
So the power hour is what we start off with. Kids come, they do their homework. If they don't have any homework to do, we give them power pages that are age appropriate in terms of what grade they're in, and they work on that, so they're educational activities, or we have them reading. And so that's kind of the baseline. So that's the start-off program that we have.
So it's a lot more than daycare.
It is, and then they're going to want to go to the gym and play and have a good time. They do that, but we have other programs for them to go through. One of the biggest ones is programs that are called Stay Smart and Smart Moves, designed to keep children, and then as you get to middle school students, keep them away from drugs, tobacco, alcohol, premature sexual activity, all those types of things. Keep them going in the right direction, in the smart direction.
Now, Dave, you brought a big poster.
I brought the Boys and Girls Clubs code. This is what Boys and Girls Clubs say. This is part of our creed. And the thing, without reading all of it to you, the thing that I focused on being a lawyer is I believe in America, the American way of life, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights. And when I saw that, I said, I don't know of too many organizations that are promoting the Constitution and the Bill of Rights to young people. And so that really sealed the deal for me when I first saw
David,
that.
but we're going to run out of time way too quick. We just got a minute left. Are you looking for volunteers? How can people get involved if they want to? Is there a website or something like that people can can contact you through?
The acronym for Boys and Girls Clubs, BGC, and then our organization, Southeast Virginia. So it's bgcseva.org. That's our website.
Okay.
Yes, we do look for volunteers to come in. They can work in our art room. If there are art teachers out there or retired art teachers or art professors and they want to help with kids, they can do that. They can come in and help them read. They can come in and help them with their homework. We'd love to have volunteers call us up and say, how can we do that?
To answer your question, we do need volunteers to serve on the board and participate and be a part of it. And our goal is that it costs about $22,000 to build a jail cell to house somebody, for a year out. And these kids, we want to get them before they go to jail. And it's a lot cheaper to fund for the Boys and Girls Club. It costs about $102 or something like that per child, isn't it?
$80 a month.
Dave and Buddy, really, I hate to cut things short. I know we're just scratching the surface here. Please come back.
Thanks for having
Dave,
us.
thank you, sir, very much.
Yeah.
Buddy, thank you. Stay with us. After this quick break, we're going to have Gridlock 64. Stay with us.
This greyhound is Delta bound. Now my baby boy done finally.
Watch Chesapeake City Council meetings each week on WCTV. See your elected officials discuss the issues and find solutions, like what city services are needed and how will they be paid for. Watch the Chesapeake City Council right here on WCTV or on demand on the web at cityofchesapeake.net for information that affects you, your neighborhood, your commute, and your wallet. Watch the Chesapeake City Council on WCTV Chesapeake Television. We're here to serve you.
Thinking Out Loud, as promised, here is Gridlock 64.
Give me your word, give me a sign. Show me where to go and tell me what will I find. What will I find? Lay me on the ground and find me in the sky. Show me where to go and tell me what will I find. What will I find? Come on now. Yeah. Yeah. Whoa. You haven't let your light shine down. 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 shine down. Heaven, let your light shine down. I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. Heaven's little light gonna shine on me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Heaven's little light gonna shine on me. Shine, shine on me. Yeah, shine. Oh, come on and shine.
Thank you.
Awesome, man. Gridlock 64. You guys got something going here.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that.
How long you been together?
6 years. 6
6
years now.
years. And I know that I got to hear you live now. So you're going to be playing somewhere close, I hope.
We're playing actually at Newport News tomorrow night at RJ's in Newport News. Next week, we're back local here, Virginia Beach at South Beach Grill. Saturday, Big Woody's, right up the street.
Right on Battlefield Boulevard.
Battlefield Boulevard.
Chesapeake!
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah, always a good crowd out there. Come check us out.
All right, we'll be there. Now, can you do one more?
I think we could probably twist our arm. Maybe do another one. You guys want to do it?
Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, well, we're going to close out the show here because we're going to, whatever's left, we're going to give it to Gridlock 64. Thanks for watching Thinking Out Loud. We'll see you next week. Here again, Gridlock 64.
Say your plans with 2-1. Don't forget my son to include everyone. It's like you in, warm within, keep you free from sin. Till the salmon he come home. You sleep with one eye open and grip your pillow tight. And exhale, and down tonight, and take my hand off the never, never land. Something's wrong, shut the light, heavy dust tonight, and the honest white. Your dreams of war, dreams of higher, dream of dragon, the fires, and the things that will bite. You sleep with one eye open, and gripping your pillow tight, and exhale, yeah, tonight, and take my hand off the never, never land.
Promotional consideration for WCTV programming is provided in part by the shopper.